Do you ever remember the boring assignments back in school? Well, in this project, we make creative, engaging alternatives. Today's assignment. Create a syllabus for an obscure college class, ideally one that doesn't already exist and has no reason to exist. Your syllabus should cover your grading system, a brief outline on what will be covered during the semester, and many other class policies. Using the contents of the syllabus, you should then create a PowerPoint to go through the document with the class so that everyone for sure understands what the class will entail. You should spend some time in the presentation giving a little more context on each of the topics you will be covering.
All right, Max, are you recording?
I am.
Excellent. Welcome, class. Welcome to the Foundations of Magic, MT 1015. I am Wizard Eldemere the Wise. I will be your professor. So just, that's me right there. That's what I look like. I've got a glowing left eye, as you can see clearly. So just a little bit about me. I am Eldemere the Wise. I'm 103 years old. My left eye is magical. I specialize in divination magic, which is the magic of knowledge itself, information, things like that.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. I have two pet squirrels, Sandy and Springo. There they are, pictured. Without further ado, let's get into the syllabus here. Office hours.
For fuck's sake!
My office is in the Praxis Shifting Library. The room moves around. It is on a very complicated schedule. Please, if you have any questions about that, forward them to the Praxis Navigation Hub. If you need help finding my office, I do not want you sending me emails or messenger birds about this. Please, Praxis Navigation Hub. It is in room 001 of the Praxis Shifting Library. It is always the first room on your right after you enter. That room.
Okay, that room number doesn't change, right?
That one doesn't change. That is the only one that stays there. Please forward all concerns about navigation to that room. If you need to meet outside of office hours, which I did not put on the slide for some reason, but they are Monday to Thursday, 3 to 5 p.m., Friday, 2 to 4 p.m. If you need to meet outside of those hours or you want to schedule a specific appointment to reserve my time, please email, preferred, send a messenger bird.
Didn't you just say not to email you?
I do have an email. It is required by the university, though. I would prefer that you use messenger bird. That is easier for me. No, the literal messenger bird, like an owl or a pigeon.
Oh, it's not an app I download.
I need to buy a fucking bird to send you a message. Oh, never mind.
That's where the office is. Sorry, I meant to circle that. Yes. In this particular picture, it'll be in a different location every time. This course is, for first-year students to introduce you all to the fundamentals of magical theory, spellcraft basics, and the risks of practicing magic. This is a required course, and it is very, very, very important. Please pay attention. Because of this, attendance and participation are worth 20% of your grade.
Raising my hand.
Yes, you with the curly hair?
I'm a computer science.
I can read your mind,
yes.
I know.
Okay, yeah, use divination to read my question. I'm a computer science major. How the fuck is this a required course?
We are at the Astralis Academy of Magical Arts. You may be in the wrong place.
No, I'm at the right place. I swear I took the right plane shuttle.
Required course for magic. So next door neighbor university, Missouri University of Science and Technology, they have freshman engineering. This is that, but for magic.
Okay, I didn't know. Computers are magic now. All good.
Computers are not magic, but magic is a thing. At the end of the course, prior to the final, you will all be asked whether or not you will be participating in the final project, the rite of unbinding. This is a very well-known rite. It is required in order for you to be able to, physically required for you to be capable of performing any magic. So this class will be going mostly over theory, precautions, procedures, and preparing you for this rite, so that you may be able to begin your career as a wizard or spellcraftician or something of the sort. That rite is optional due to its immense danger to your body, soul, and metaphysical self, though it is physically incapable to perform magic without it. If you elect not to, you may still stay here at the university, though you'll be locked out of most of the classes as you are incapable of practicing magic. You'll be locked to magical theory, spellcraft, or ethics as your majors. So the first half of the semester is going to be going over the basics and fundamentals, and the second half will be covering specifically this rite. In order to be allowed to perform this rite at the end of the semester, you must pass MT 1010. This is a co-requisite. Most of you are in this class at the same time or have completed this elsewhere. This is the Magical Risks and Safety Procedures class, just to make sure that you know the risks that you are undergoing and the risks that you will eventually undergo throughout your magical career. And
Mr. Eldemere, sir, I am a transfer student, and I've taken the Chem Lab safety course. Is that an equivalent
I don't believe it is the university that you took it. What university did you take that at?
Missouri University of Science and Technology, the one down the street.
I don't believe that would count, but you should talk to your guidance counselor about it. They would know.
Okay, well, we did go over lots of risks and safety procedures.
That's
And
true, but
chemistry does kinda
these
seem like
risks
magic.
cover magical risks.
Professor.
Specifically with spellcasting, the risks of your soul leaking out of your body and you slowly dying.
Explosions,
Things of that sort can
spills.
happen.
We talked about all of these in our chem safety lab.
That is why it might count, but I would talk to the advisor. You must receive a signed permission slip from Wizard Ronaldin, and you must sign and submit the liability waiver, which is at the back of your syllabus. I strongly recommend you give that a once over, though you should not sign that yet. Wait until a little bit later into the semester so you know what you're signing up for. So, course materials. I have the pictures of the books here. None of them have titles on the screen here, but the titles are listed in the syllabus. Required reading for this course: Magic in the Modern Age, published in 1990, An Introduction to the Fundamentals of Magic by Gerald E. Lee. It is available in the school store, the Astralis store, on the website, or in the physical store. Hardback for $25. You can get it in crystal transcription for $15 or a digital download for $10. There are 3 supplemental texts that I strongly recommend. Tome of Drangor, originally published in like the year 800, translated and annotated most recently in 2016. Drangor, if you're not familiar, is the first wizard, the first one to undergo the rite of unbinding. I also recommend for you, curly hair guy, and Austin, that's your name. I figured it out with my wizard powers. Anybody else here who is a transfer computer science or engineering major, I strongly recommend reading Spellcraft, The Programming of Reality by Brian J. Thompson.
Yeah, raising my hand. Is this written by the CEO of United Healthcare?
Is that actually his name? I just summoned that name out of my ass. Yes, it is. It is written by them.
Where does it say that?
Miraculously.
It's in the third
It's under course
recommended
materials.
reading.
It's the second bullet in the syllabus.
Pretty sure he's
Brian
dead,
J.
Professor.
Thompson, is his middle name
I don't
Jay?
think his middle name is Jay.
Different Brian Thompson, though that is hilarious. Yes, this goes over spellcraft and how spells are written from a more computer science perspective. It gives you a little bit of an easier insight. I also very, very strongly recommend that you all read Windows to Power: Understanding the Rite of Unbinding and the Many Senses by Dr. Elwin Voss. You should at least give that a once-over prior to performing the rite. It contains a lot of useful information, lots of tips and things like that. Just a very good resource all around. Outside of all the course materials, and I'll reiterate, Magic in the Modern Age is the only required text. And it is required. We will be having weekly readings, assignments, questions from the back of the book. Course structure and grading, I did not make a slide for this, but pretty self-explanatory. Participation, 20%, and attendance. It's very important that you show up to class, so make sure you do that. There will be 2 reflective essays, one on magical ethics and one on specifically the risks involved in the rite of unbinding. These essays should include a personal reflection on the material and a thorough analysis of the magical practices. Only 7.5% of your grade each. There will be, like I said, weekly reading assignments and homework pertaining to said assignments. 10% of your grade. There will be a midterm, which is on the March 3rd. That is 15% of your grade. That goes over the fundamentals of magic. And then the final exam. The final exam will go over everything that we've talked about in the class. And for those of you who elect to perform the rite and have turned in your permission slips, your safety sign sheet, and liability waiver, final exam will contain a large section on the rite. You'll be asked to transcribe it in its entirety, the whole procedure. For those of you who elect not to do the rite, this final exam will be far more extensive. You will be given an additional 2 hours. It will go over all of the other supplemental material in much greater detail, including stuff that is not gone over in lecture that are specifically from the supplemental reading. Yeah, from the supplemental readings. And it will cover a much higher percentage of your grade, 40% above the 20%. For those of you doing the rite, the rite itself will be 20% of your grade, and it will be performed, May to May 21st, and the final is on May 16th. It will be performed in front of the class and in front of the Council of Elders, which is sort of like the superintendent's board of the school. All assignments can be accepted late. There is the late penalty is a flat 10%, no matter how late you're turning it in, so please turn in all your assignments. Final submissions are due May 15th by midnight. Same thing goes for the liability waiver and the permission, safety slip. All of that is due May 15th. Schedule, we've got the sort of overview, as you can see in the syllabus. First half of the semester, we'll just be going over magic as a whole, schools of magic basics, ethics and risks. We'll also cover some career paths, possible job opportunities. We'll have the midterm, and then we will go right into talking about the rite, how the soul works into magic, and just going over the rite and its procedures before we review, and the final exam, and then there will be the final project. And then, of course, institutional information, Title IX, honor code, accessibility accommodations, all of that stuff is available on the website. Without further ado, let's get into some of the basics here. What is magic? Magic is, in essence, the enacting of one's will directly onto reality around themselves. You can see it, like, I pick up a pencil. I could pick up a pencil like that. That's not magic. And hover my hand over it, and then the pencil levitates. This is magic. It's doing it in a way that kind of breaks the rules as we understand them. A lot of people think it's breaking the rules. Other people think that it is that we are merely revising our understanding of the rules, and these are just the new rules. Whatever your perspective. Yes?
Raising my hand. Okay, so like let's say that I had like a dice or like, I don't know, a multiple choice question that I didn't know the answer to that was completely random. Could you use magic to understand the answer to that question by chance?
You could. That is
okay,
that is my specialty.
Oh my gosh, thank God. Maybe I can go to your office hours maybe every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and we'll just you
if you can find my office.
Yeah, I know.
His office hours are also only Monday. Oh no, he has specific times. Yeah. His office hours are only from 3 to 5 p.m. Monday through Thursday. So.
You can send me a messenger bird or an email if you really have to.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I don't have a bird though.
Outside of it. You can send me an email. I do also have a phone number listed there, required by the university. I don't check it very often, but I try to at least.
Just my luck. Okay.
If you need to reach me outside of office hours, you can do so there. In order to perform magic, one must undergo a ritual known as the rite of unbinding. We've talked about it a lot. Very well-known rite, and it grants your soul access to the world outside of yourself. And one can use this to perform a variety of magic. This rite is incredibly dangerous, as I've already said. There's a waiver at the back of your syllabus, a liability waiver. Listed at the top of it are some of the things that are pretty much guaranteed to happen. You will lose or impair one of your senses permanently. This is irreparable. You can compensate using magic. I have some sort of a magical sight with this eye, but otherwise I am monocular. I lack a lot of depth perception. Exposure to and potential loss of spiritual integrity. It's very dangerous. Now, what is this rite? Many people know that the eyes are the window to the soul. This is a literal state, and it extends to all of the other senses as well. Touch, smell, taste, hearing, etc. One's soul is typically bound by its host body, and thus cannot affect the world outside of it. This ritual is a dangerous process by which one opens one of these windows. The process causes you to lose access to the targeted sensory organ and exposes your soul to the outside world. And after the rite, there is nothing that keeps your soul in your body. That is why it is so important that you pay attention and show up to class, and will be well prepared and well informed to be able to consciously keep your soul from leaking out and killing you.
Sir.
Yes.
Is that how Voldemort did it? He sacrificed his nose and then leaked out parts of his soul to make himself immortal?
Yeah, is that true?
I believe that is a fictional movie, but that is my headcanon.
Professor, so, like, Helen Keller, like, is she special?
She was born without the senses. She did not ever perform the rite. So she was not a wizard.
It is so much funnier to think that her parents were like cultists who forced it upon her upon birth.
Some people do believe that, though it is not supported by any factual evidence. So I cannot, as your professor, I cannot say that is true. But
that'll be my headcanon.
Knowing my luck based on another class, I'm probably not going to do this because I would just turn out to be Helen Keller and then I would just die.
Yes, it is very dangerous, but we do spend half of the whole semester preparing you for this. 90% of students survive this. 80% survive without any injury. So we have the best success rate out of all of the magical schools in the Midwest.
You like those odds?
Yes.
No, I don't.
Which sense to choose? All of your senses will sort of... whenever you perform this ritual, you do something called a puncture. You puncture this hole in your body. And it is also sometimes called just the window that you open, or the opening, or your break mark. That is in reference to this, and I point at like the runes that are etched directly into my eyeball. Most people elect to puncture one of their eyes. This allows them to perform magic on sight, which is very useful. It has long range. It is relatively low impact in terms of the sense that you lose, as you still retain your other eye's vision, and you can compensate fairly well with magic. And this lends itself well to divinatory magic and other extremely long range magic. It does lose accuracy at very long ranges. Touch. Some people will elect to put their break mark at the base of their spine, and this will fully negate their sense of touch. They will lose all feeling, pain, pleasure, not emotional feeling, but physical sensations. This lends itself well to very short range, high intensity magic. This is a very high impact thing, and is a pretty dangerous one, but it does lend itself very well to evocation magic, as losing your sense of pain is very useful for this explosive magic that might backfire and injure you brutally. It is very good for high power, low accuracy magic.
Sir, quick question. You still get injured, though. You just don't feel.
You do still get injured. You just don't feel the pain. So recovery is a lot. It's more of an annoyance than it is like.
Isn't there like a whole medical thing with that? That's kind of like.
There are certain spells and wards you can place on yourself to be aware of bodily functions, internal bleeding, and the sort. There are many of the 5 basic senses at the very least are very well studied. There is an asterisk there. There are more than 5 senses, and we'll talk about that here in a moment, but yes, the 5 senses have been very well studied, and there are plenty of safety procedures in place, depending on which one you choose to accommodate for your lack of a specific sense. Some people may opt to go for taste. This one is very subtle. It has a shorter mid-range magic, very, very low impact. Taste is not very important for many of the functions, especially in the modern age where we understand what things are poisonous. We don't need to taste them to know that. And this allows for magic on speech, which is very good for subtle enchantment and charm-based magic. Spies will often have this puncture and hide it with makeup or other prosthetics, not having to worry about the bad taste of paint in their mouth. Now, fun fact, actually, if you suspect somebody has this puncture, you can lace their food or drink with something very, very bitter. And if they don't react, then that's a sign that they have it. Some people may opt for smell. This is a mid to long range. You can extend the magic further downwind. It's a very air-based magic. Very low impact. Smell is useful, but not crucial. And this allows them to perform incredibly precise magic within a limited distance. It's very good for specific medical procedures like healing or illusory magic, where you need to make things look very real. And then last but not least, hearing. Some people may opt to puncture one or both of their ears. This is short range, moderate impact. Hearing is pretty important. Although hearing is the only of the redundant senses, merely a more sensitive form of touch. As such, it can be very easily compensated and lends itself well to gaining a more tactile understanding of one's environment by enhancing your own sense of touch, which is great for transmutation magic, feeling and molding. You are not locked to the specific school of magic pertaining to this. Each of these just lends itself more easily to that school. As I said before, there are many more than just the 5 senses, though very few successful enactions of the rite using senses other than the 5. Praxis the Untethered, my bad. The wizard whose namesake, who constructed the shifting library. They performed the rite on the top back of his head, removing his kinesthesia, the sense of movement. This proved remarkably effective at enhancing magical transposition, teleportation, and also proved to be his undoing. In his later years, he accidentally teleported into a wall and died. And this break mark has never successfully been replicated. Many have tried to puncture their chronoception, sense of time, in hope of getting time travel or something. This has never worked.
Professor, raising my hand.
Yes.
Some people report after having organ surgery that they can, quote unquote, feel their organs repositioning back into place. If I sever that, can I
I believe that would be your
myself?
sense of touch.
Well, that's really lame because I want to be a furry.
What?
If you wish to transmute yourself, that would be hearing. That would lend itself well to that, because you would enhance your sense of touch to compensate, and that would allow you to mold things.
I'll be the bird that I know you want me to be.
Incredible.
I'll be a feathery bird.
That is all I have prepared for this lecture. Getting multiple punctures is very risky, as it leads to more areas for your soul to leak out. It's much harder to keep yourself contained. But with more extensive training, you can get multiple punctures. But yes, that is all I had prepared for today's lecture. Are there any questions?
Yeah. Does the exit of this university also change locations, or do I just leak through the door I entered through?
Is it just a practice
the exit of the library does shift, though there are exit signs that shift around through the corridors that point you in the right direction.
Oh, okay. Thank goodness. At least it's coordinated.
Yes. Any other questions?
Will you go ahead and go on Discord and look at the map? Is this the accurate location of the Australis Academy of Mystic Arts?
Yes. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Across the street from whatever window.
In auto glass.
Yes.
Yeah.
Directly across the street from King Auto. You can actually see it if you look out that window right there.
Good to know.
Very cool.
Thanks for watching. Go ahead and give us ideas on what we should do next.